Hey everybody, welcome to the Studying Brew, episode 851 on this beautiful Tuesday night. Oh my goodness, it is Test Taking Techniques Tuesday. It is going to be a great night where we give those skills that pays the bills as we go into the Super Bowl Sunday. I'm just saying. I know everybody on here is a 49ers fan, and I appreciate every single one of you. And if you're not, I'm ignoring every single one of you because you're not that dumb. I'm just saying, you're real smart. You guys are going to be 49er fans before the weekend's over. That's all I'm saying. All right.
Wow.
I'm saying they're smart. They're smart.
That's right.
I say they're smart. All right, everybody. I'm just saying. What is that? The wedding singer? I have the microphone and I have all the power. No, I'm just kidding. No, seriously though, I want to say thank you all for being here. I don't care who you're rooting for. I'm rooting for you. That's the most important. I'm rooting for the important team, which is your team, which is the one that wants to get the securities license and get that dang license, right? Get it done so that way we can enjoy IRA season and enjoy that time of year that's just special for all agents of securities. By the way, my name is Andy. I am the guy that runs the back office over here. I am the loud and proud 49er fan, but you're not here for my football team, nor me. You're here for Brandy. She's got her Series 6, 63, 26, Series 65, and her Series 7. And that makes her more than qualified to teach you all the things you need to know so that way you too can get a pass notice. And that's why we're all here. Today, I was talking to somebody on the phone, Brandy, and they were like, you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. Anything that has to do with reading a lot, I don't like doing. I know I have my Series 6 and my 63, and I need to get my 26. But if I have to watch another one of those, I won't say who it is, videos again, I will rather pull my eyeballs out or to like go through that book again. Can you guarantee me that you guys are not as boring? And can you also guarantee me that your book will not put me to sleep at night?
Yes.
I said, well, I can't guarantee you the book part because, you're going to have to just deal with that on your own because if reading makes you sleep, there's nothing I can do about that. But I can tell you this. These videos will not put you to sleep. They will not lull you down, but they will inspire you because you'll be like, what? I can't believe I can get through this and not feel like I need to pull my eyeballs out. And they laughed. And now they're going to get their Series 26. So, guys, I'm telling you, if you're looking for an alternative, a little bit different, you have found the place because we're all about passing. We're all about the pass notices. And I know we're going to talk about pass notices tonight, and we're going to talk about passing. We're going to talk about people who passed, all that great stuff. But I want to say this on all of this, there's always somebody here who is like, you know what, Andy, I tried my best. I did my best. I've done my due diligence. I've put in my work. I've studied. I have done the work. Trust me. I study in the shower. I study while I'm eating. I study while I'm driving. I study everywhere I go and everything I do. And sometimes I still take these quizzes and I just don't know. I don't know anymore. I don't know what's going on. I just have so much self-doubt. I have all this doubt going into my head. I don't know if I'm cut for this. I don't know if I can do it. I may have not passed once. I may have not passed twice. I don't know. Before you got to us, maybe like 3 or 4 or 5 times. I don't know. Am I wasting my time? No. Anytime you learn something, is that a waste of time? Do you know what a waste of time? Watching TV, to be honest with you. And if you really want, as much as I love football, that's a waste of time. I'm going to say it. As much as I love it, and I like watching it, and I like hearing the soap opera that it is, it's still a waste of time. Let's be honest. Right? There are so many wastes of time that we have. But learning something that could benefit you, that you can get an actual license for, that makes you a professional in some way, or maybe just learning about this, and even if you don't get a license right away for whatever reason, what if there's something you encounter that happens in your life and now you are more knowledgeable and you don't get taken advantage of? Was that a waste of time? No, none of it's a waste of time unless you want it to be a waste of time, because learning is not a waste of time. Bettering yourself is not a waste of time. Going to the gym is not a waste of time. Eating right is not a waste of time. Doing all the things you know you should be doing, like going to the dentist and having your physicals, is not a waste of time. None of that's a waste of time. It's all in self-betterment. Is it the things we love to do? No. Is it better than Disneyland? Most than likely not. And depending on some people's interpretation, if they like Disneyland or not, I'm not getting into that. I'm just saying it might not be your roller coaster, but in the end, it is what will take care of you. In the end, it is the thing that you will go, wow, I'm glad I did it because I am so much happier because of it in, the long run. Right? Gratification and all this other stuff, it's all goes and comes and goes. It's like going to a fancy dinner. It's amazing while you're there. It's amazing while you enjoy the environment. But let's be honest, in 2 hours, we all know where it goes. Right? And it's all over. And that's all we got is the memory. But we're talking about stuff that could last a lifetime. And who knows, it could last your next of kin's lifetime as well. We're talking about stuff that could have significant difference for some in building a legacy. Think about that. Think about what you're doing and what you possibly could be doing. That makes it all worth it. That makes it all worth the failed attempts. It makes it all the worth of the denials, all the things that didn't necessarily go your way. Look, some of the best answered prayers are the unanswered ones. Right? You think they even wrote a song about it? Guys, we might think it's not happening or whatever, but you know what? It's not about your time. It's about the timing and which was set for you before you were even born. Right? You don't know. You just have to do what you can do, and that's enough. And you just keep going. And you push harder in the direction that is good, that is positive, and you can't fail in the long run. You can't. So if you ever have any of that misgivings, if it's not going your way, you can't remember it, guys, just stick with it. You'll figure out that one thing that'll help you and push through. And then just like we heard from Michelle after the brew, and who's going to talk again tonight, she's not. But she talked after the brew last night. Okay, I should have read that. But what she did say last night is like, look, she doubted herself, was not even going to go to the test. And her husband's like, dude, just go. Like, you've been studying, you did enough. And she was like, I don't understand. And she goes, you know what? I don't even care. I don't even care if I know options. I know enough about it. Brandy said that's all I need to know. And I went and did it and I passed. Can you imagine if she'd had any more doubt? If she didn't snap herself out of it? If she didn't just say, you know what? Enough's enough. I'm just going anyway. And let's just do it. I did all that I could do. It wouldn't be a pass notice. But thank goodness, she's got her husband who's pushing her forward. Good, thank goodness she was coachable all the way, not just to us, but to everybody around her that cares and supports her. And sometimes that's what it takes. And you know what? You got to get rid of that fear. You got to get rid of that discomfort. You got to get past all of that and just do it. That's all. And move forward and just throw it all out there. Get it all out. Just play it out, right? There's all those like sports analogies, right? Where they say leave it on the field, right? So, all right. Let's get this thing going. Everybody wants to know, when's the academy? It already started. Kona Academy is already in full swing. We're already on day 2, but it's not too late to get to catch up. We got a great way of catching up. It is called the review and recap. You can get right back into it. No problem. Get right on schedule with us. Michelle, who just passed, she was at Kona Academy. Ning, who passed, was in the Kona Academy. Guys, it's a great way to stay consistent with this stuff, to get through it in nice little pieces as Brandy guides you through the whole process, all the way from the beginning, all the way to teaching those test-taking techniques, strategies, and getting you prepared through the Saturday review. It goes through the whole thing. And if you don't or you can't do the academy, guess what? We got the 21-day plan. You can do that on the self-study, still take advantage of the small group tutoring, the Saturday reviews, the Monday sessions where we teach techniques. You got all that stuff still too. It's just not with Brandy on the guided, because you're good like that. You got good self-discipline, you can do it on your own time, or you're just a hustler and that's just the way the schedule works. You know what I mean? So we have multiple ways of doing this. Scan the QR code, hit the links in the chat, check out our awesome new SIE study guide if you're studying for that. It's interactive. It has videos it plays for members. We have a Series 6 and 63 study guide. Doesn't have the video interaction just yet, but you know what? It'll help you get the pass. We also got the Kona Discord, the Kona community, if you will, where you can ask questions, get answers. It's a great place to be. Positivity, that could be your support system if you don't have an awesome husband like Michelle, and you just want to lean on some people and ask, hey, you know what? Can I do it? Yeah, you can do it. Get out there and do it. So, all right. We have, and then you just scan the QR code. All right. Anyways, let me get back on track here. I lost train of thought here. But we have the Kona Academy tomorrow. Speaking of which, the SIE, the 663, meeting at that great time in the morning, right? Day 2. Brandy's going over some great topics you don't want to miss out. And I don't know. I can't remember what all the topics are. But I wanted to say this. Series 63 is not happening tomorrow. It is canceled. We are not going to do that, but that's okay. The Series 63 literally doesn't take 3 weeks to get through. So we have plenty of time to get you caught up. And we'll continue that next day for 63 on Thursday. Brandy will make it up. Why? Because sometimes the orthodontist doesn't want to cooperate, and your youngest has to go to the dentist and go get some work done. And guess who they want? Their mommy. So stepdad just isn't enough. So mommy's got to be there. So we're just going to I'm sorry, we're going to have to do us a little sacrifice on that 63. I apologize, but we will make it up to you, and we have plenty of time to get through this material and stay on track to get you that exam ready, or get ready for that exam. All right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let me hold on. All right. Like I said last night, if you're not following us on Instagram and they tell me, well, we don't really have to do this because we talked about them yesterday, but still, I will do it again. If they tell me they passed and they let me know and they give me a picture, guess what, Brandy? We add another one to the Kona Hall of Fame because they didn't talk last night, but I want them to talk tonight. But because I think it's important, not just for recognition, but the fear fact, guys, that you don't want to miss out on the little things like I got to hear last night when Michelle got her brand new microphone all working. And she was like, she dropped some knowledge, like she just said, about her husband and all, what happened. Guys, that's awesome. And look, you might be facing the same way, and you might be doubting yourself going for that exam. And you need to hear this. You want to hear this because you know what? It will help you, encourage you to move on. And that's why we let our pastors speak, because it's not just me talking about it, not me making up these stories. It actually happened. So without further ado, if we could go ahead and let's go to Michelle and let her unmute herself. And let's hear what Michelle has to say about getting this pass notice. If you would, please unmute yourself and let all the fine people know how you passed this.
Hi, everyone.
Yay!
Okay. I will thank you for all the support. How did I pass? Well, I got my life license quite a while ago, probably 5 months ago. And I thought, okay, I'm done. I'm not. And then I went, oh no, I'm not done. So I thought, okay, I'll study. Anyway, I found out about KonaButterfly and I thought, this is what I need to do. I need a regular schedule. I need to pretend I'm back in college. I need to go back to school. This is what I need to do. So that's how, really, it's because of KonaButterfly. That's kind of how I passed. And I didn't give up. I shed tears. I swore I wanted to throw things, but I thought, you know what? Draw the line as far as you can go and then step over the line. I did that many times because this is something I never thought I'd be learning about ever.
That's awesome.
And I loved Andy's analogy of, okay, say you're painting your house and there's one little section you missed. Are you going to paint the whole room again or just go to the one section you missed? And I went, I'm painting the whole dang house. And I went, okay, I'm going back to the sections I don't know and accept options. I ignored that section. So other than that, I thought I'm doing too much. I'm taking, yeah. Was that short enough? Thank you, Kona Butterfly. I talked a lot last night. I don't want to talk anymore.
That's beautiful, because I think I told you your story about your husband telling you and pushing you out the door and saying,
Yes.
you know what, you're just going to
he's
do
like,
it.
just go. You've been studying and studying. He said, go say a prayer, go, go, go. And so I did. Yes.
And I also
yes.
love your story about how you just said, you know what, I know, like, I don't need to know anything more about options. I'm done with this topic. I'm just done. We're going.
Yeah.
Over it.
I was worried about that. It sucked a lot out of me. I spent all day trying to figure out why the paint was in that one corner. I didn't get it. And then I went, I'm done. I'm like, I'm going to bed. Tomorrow I'm waking up. I'm going backwards and ignoring options, going forward to options, skip options, back to options, skip options. There we go.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
And I trusted you, Brandy. Thank you.
That's what a good player, you know, I'm going back to my football analogies because it is Super Bowl week, but
it is Super Bowl weekend. And now who's playing? No, I'm teasing.
The 49ers. That's all.
I know who's playing.
Oh. But you know what? But going back to it, your players just listen to a coach. They put a good play, you know, they put a plan together and the player just executes it. And guys, that's it. She just listened to what we said. She didn't fully know why she should trust it, but she trusted it and she went for it. And guess what? She got a pass notice. Congratulations, Michelle. Let's get that Series 6. I know you're already in the academy.
I'm in for 6. Yes.
I can't wait to talk about how you passed the Series 6 in no time at all. So congratulations.
Thank you.
And thank you for being on and sharing.
Yes.
Okay, you're welcome. Sorry, I love to talk too much. So
you did great. You did great.
No, you're fine.
Okay.
Great.
Thanks, you guys.
Thank you. What awesome. That's awesome. I love it. And who knows what I say? Sometimes I just ramble on, but you know what? It pays off. But here we go. We're not done yet. I want to say congratulations also, but not last. Ning, she can be on tonight and share with us how she got her pass notice also in the Kona Academy and working hard at getting this thing done. Ning, I could go on and on about how awesome you are and just grateful about how John brought you here, or maybe you brought John. I can't remember the story. But I will just say this. I am happy that you got this thing done. You are so dedicated. You work the system so hard, but it's not about what I think. It's about what you say and what helped you pass. If you could go ahead and unmute yourself and let all the fine people know how you got this thing done. And congratulations.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for this opportunity to talk. I'm really nervous. But special shout out to my team, my teammates, and my SVP is here tonight, Luis Guico. So what helped me pass? Of course, I want to say thank you so much once again. I wrote down what I wanted to say because I'm gonna forget. But I want to say thank you, Brandy and Andy, for your patience and for being so supportive. And of course, for making studying so much fun. There's no boring time spent with you guys. So even if it's already 1 o'clock here in Texas, I would stay after the brew just to listen, you know, on to your conversation, and it because I'm learning. So what helped me pass Series 6? I have a few pointers that work for me. Number 1, find your learning style. So Brandy talks about this and find what works for you. So I personally cannot sit and read the whole book. And so trust me, I tried it. But watch videos and taking notes worked really, really well for me. The 4 R's to retention, relate, you know, to non-securities and scenarios, relate to something that will stick to you, and rewrite, which also correlates with like repeat until you memorize it. And then, of course, relax. So when I was testing, I forgot to hide the time on the test, and it notified when I only had 20 minutes left. I remember I was on question like 40, and my first reaction was to panic. But then I heard Brandy's voice in my head, and that she said, relax, because this was the last message she sent me. She said, relax, you have time, You got this. Maintain, but no cramming. So I just stopped from maybe like 30 seconds. I prayed and I said, from this, I'm on question 40. The next 20 minutes is, the next 20 or 15 questions I think will make or break my score. So I just literally, I prayed, God, I really want to pass. So help me answer this next, 10 questions left. So I just prayed. And then the next few questions that came on, I used techniques. I used, the keyword connections, the best tool I think to help you that help you boost my confidence is knowing what to look for in the question by looking at the answers first. This is what I'm proud that I have learned from Kona. So again, stay consistent, quiz daily, drill on why wrong, utilize the tons of videos available, and focus on your weak areas. So try not to focus. Brandy told me, try not to focus more on your scores. So, but focus on your weak areas. So I had COVID 2 weeks before the exam, and the brain fog after COVID is real struggle for me. I took a full quiz questions on Achievable, and my gosh, my score was like 50%. And on that 50%, which I didn't tell, of course, I didn't tell my SVP that my score was 50%. And that was like 2 days before my test. And so I looked at what area I was very weak at, and it was suitability. So the 2 days before my exam, that's all I did was like watching and rewatching the suitability videos that is posted on Patreon. And true enough, and watching it, I was able to retain, and then so now I know that stock is growth, and bond is income, bond, income. So it just keeps. So when I saw those questions in the test, already know what to look for in the question. The 21-day plan worked very well for me, because if I can get to I can attend the classes, I would, but just be consistent in attending and plugging in. What else? I think that's it.
That's a lot. That's a lot. I mean, you gave it all. I mean, you gave everything to everybody.
PMA.
Yes, positive mental attitude, 100%. I think everybody on here, if you weren't taking notes on this, you missed out on learning on how to get a pass notice, because that was everything.
Everything.
That was everything.
That was so good.
That's coachable right there.
Yeah.
And Ning, we are so dang proud of you, and you're such a great student. You really are. And this is gonna be awesome to see you get this 63 done in no time. And we're gonna be singing you're fully licensed. And of course, I know you're gonna get that Series 26 before John. No problem at all. It's just great to see. Just to see this team just going, and then just seeing, and Ning, I don't know. What do you want to say? I mean, I could sing praises about Ning all day long. I mean, that was just awesome.
Thank you so much. John is so supportive. He reminds me, it's time. It's already midnight. Come on, let's go.
No, I love it. She does work, and so she was on with me today on the 63, but she's like, I'll be watching the videos. So I gave her some pointers on the 63, but honestly, she's not afraid to ask questions.
No.
She's not afraid to plug in, and she's not afraid to be accountable. It's great.
Yep. And if you put in that work, and look, you got nothing to fear.
Mm-hmm.
When that comes over you, when you got no time left on the clock, you plug into those resources, those techniques, those strategies, and you just put them to work. And you take a moment and you just go. And that's what you did. So congratulations, Ning. Again, thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate you being on here. It was every bit worth the wait of hearing what you had to say. So thank you.
Yes.
All right, everybody. You heard it. You heard it. You heard it. You heard it twice tonight about the techniques. You heard about, the leaning into it. Now it's time to play Test Taking Techniques Tuesday. It is the techniques and strategies that you just heard about on what they use to get a pass notice. It is looking for those answers. It is looking for those keywords. It is when the clock is running low and you don't have a lot of time left on the clock. You got to lean on those strategies and those techniques. And guess what? It's probably what you needed to do to keep it simple, to just get to the answer and then just walk away with a pass notice. And, I'm telling you right now, that's probably what Michelle did to get those option questions. She was like, you know what? The heck with this. I'm just
Yep.
going to lean on the strategies and just move on. And so what we're going to do today is we're going to learn that tonight. And last night we did the catchphrase. Now we're going to put together some techniques. And Brandy, we got rules to Test Taking Techniques Tuesday. Rule number 1, guess what? You're not allowed to ask what question did that exam come from. It's irrelevant. Just pay attention to what's on the screen. Start trying to get the answers before you see the question. That's part of the game if you've already been playing. And guess what, guys? You don't even need to know content sometimes. You don't even need to know content sometimes. Sometimes the answers will present themselves and you'll be like, what? Is it that easy? Yeah. But you know what? It's not easy to see that at first, but how do we get good at something? We practice. So rule number 2 is we want you to practice, practice, practice. We don't want you to be like Allen Iverson. We want you to be more like Kobe. We want you to practice because practice makes a good attempt. And I'm going to say this. We want you to do a 10-question flash quiz, 10 questions, 10 minutes, no thought, just practicing the strategies and the techniques, and that's it. Moving on. That's a drill that we like to do, and it'll help you better those scores. And guess what? If you're scoring higher when you do less thinking, guess what you need to do when you do your exam and your full quizzes? You need to think less. You need to think less.
Yes.
You're getting in the way.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go, Brandy.
All right, guys. So, I cannot wait for the last one. The last one, my 8th and 9th grader answered it. Okay. So the plan must cover regulatory reporting in an emergency. The plan must be filed with FINRA. A description of the plan must be available to customers. The plan must cover backing up and restoring data in emergency. Absolutely. You guys are seeing it in the chat. They all say must. So Mona's out. So this whole idea of must only, never always, not going to work on this one, right?
That strategy is not going to work on this one.
Right. So now I'm looking. We're obviously talking about an emergency, right? So I have an emergency. I have a plan that must be available to my customers. I have a plan that must cover backing and restoring data. And then I have this whole filed with FINRA thing.
Right.
Okay. So let's look at the question. It says FINRA's requirement for maintaining a written business continuity plan includes all the following, except, guys, I don't know about you, but if my firm had all of my money and, we've seen the COVID shutdown, right? We've seen what weather can do. I want to know where my money is going to go if this building gets flooded. I want to know if we have another shutdown, how am I going to access my money? Right? So that's that one. Regulatory, I want some regulatory in there. I want some regulators making sure that my firm's doing what they're supposed to, right? And I want to know where my data is, right? So the only one that makes sense that would be the accept is filing it with FINRA.
But what, Brandy? FINRA, isn't that like an official board or body or something? Well, don't they do something? Don't they have windbreakers?
They do, but guess what, guys? They don't need to see the whole plan. They just need to know you have one and they need your emergency contacts. That's all they have.
There you
But
go.
that's content. I was looking at it from, I'm a client, and we have had situations in the last 4 years where we've had to rely on our business continuity plans. Does that make sense, guys? I approached this with common sense from a customer standpoint, not from content.
And I'm not as smart as Brandy. And if I'm not as smart as Brandy, there's one thing I did notice is that B was the shortest. It was the most different. And that's my accept. If I didn't know anything like Brandy just talked about.
There you go. That might work in this.
It might not. It may. But you know what? If I don't have time and I don't know, why not?
It may, well, I guess because guys, I got so bored trying to learn content that I started answering from a client standpoint.
Right.
Does that make sense? I hate to say it that way, but it's so true. All right. It may eliminate the holding period requirement for Rule 144 stock. It applies to QIBs. It only applies to equities. It creates a more liquid. Okay, that's a lot of words. Yes, there is a number here. Guys, there is an only in this one. You guys all called it out. Check it out. Each of the following statements are true regarding Rule 144, except the only. We know that onlys are usually not true.
Again, leaning on those strategies and techniques, not really looking at any of the other stuff.
No.
I don't know what a QIB is. Shoot, I'm not getting caught up though, because Brandy told me an only, except, not true.
Most of the time,
Click it.
not true. All right. It doesn't apply to unsolicited trades. It applies to recommended trades. It applies. Guys, look, I went like this. I saw this. I saw this. I saw this. I saw that this one was the one that was different. I said, you know what? I'm pretty sure that the answer is A. I do see the true, except I'm just going to go ahead and click on it. And it was the answer. Guys, look, I'm going to say something right now. You see how true and except are capitalized? Now, this is not Kaplan, and Kaplan usually bolds it. This is STC. They capitalize it. I don't want you guys relying on it.
It won't be that visible.
No.
You got to think, this is an exam. They're not going to make everything so visible so you can see that it's an except. It's going to blend in like camouflage.
Exactly. And the other thing is like, I looked at this real quick and I started thinking, I know, right? We told you guys not to think, but I started thinking, I'm like, time of trade disclosure. What is that? I don't know. You know what? A is the only one different. I'm just going to click on it.
Am I the only one had a grandma that had the couch that matched the drapes and it would blend in together like it looked one big color blob? That's how that accept's going to blend right in there.
That is true. All right, guys, yield to maturity, nominal yield, current yield, yield to call. Guys, if you haven't broken out in the cold sweat from the calls, you're definitely breaking out in your cold sweat from your bonds. It's another tough area. But I go maturity, yield, call. Wait, hold on. I didn't want to circle that yield. I wanted to circle that yield, and I wanted to circle. You guys see what I just did there?
Yeah, you wanted to circle.
I wanted to circle. Yeah.
Got it.
I didn't want to circle the yields because that's in every answer, right? Now check it out. It says I purchased a callable bond. Look,
Do we need to think more?
not really, because it was right there. Look,
Sometimes
I'm seeing you, Aurora. She's like on it.
Sometimes this is what we do. You ever heard of low-hanging fruit? Let's imagine a tree and it has fruit all over it, right? Most of us will, like, some people will just reach so high that will climb the tree, get stuck by thorns, whatever that tree's got, right? Get all scratched up to get that fruit that's way at the top, only to skip the one that was just hanging there that you could have just reached up and grabbed and not had to suffer.
How many times have you guys answered a question and you went, it's not that obvious? You click something way far away from what is obvious, and then you went like this. It was that one.
Sometimes the low-hanging fruit is the exact
Guys,
thing to grab.
Yes, and I started trusting that. I go, you know what? I know this seems too obvious. I'm just going to click it. And more times than not, it's correct.
Just click it.
Right. All right, guys. I've got the gift limit of 100. No, only, no circumstances, by the way, guys, is never. And so we have noticed a trend here that when we see a number like this, like, I know the other one had Rule 144 and it had only one only. These are 3 or 2 onlys and a never and a number. I'm going to say that the answer is probably A. Says, are there any circumstances under which the annual gift limit of 100 may be exceeded? And I just clicked on the one that had the number and it was the answer.
There you go.
And that is it, guys.
Look, you might be in a brain fog, you might have had, the COVID fog, like Ning was talking about, and you might not remember such things when you're in there, and you might not remember exactly how that rule goes. This is where you use that technique and strategy. Be like, you know what? I see this pattern. I seen it. Brandy told me there'd be questions like this.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna grab it.
Yep. All right. Okay. So this is the question. So I looked at this question and I was like, I know the answer.
3 performs and 1 does not.
So I got perform better. Alpha not a measure, perform approximately the same. That's an equal, perform worse, that's down. Now don't answer with if you guys know the answer, right? So I saw this and I'm like, So I let the 2 kids that were in the kitchen at the time, I let them read it and I said, okay, it says a company with a high alpha, right? And I said, okay, guys, what's the answer? And they both said A right away. And I said, why A? And my son goes, dude, I didn't even read it, but when you're an alpha, you're the best. Because that's a thing. That's for
Yeah.
kids. And I asked my daughter, I go, why are you picking A? And she's like, because alphas are the best. And then I was like, well, you guys are right. That was the answer. So they didn't even do the opposite game. Right? They didn't even do the opposite game. They literally just looked at high alpha must be better because alpha is the best because when you talk about like a pack of dogs, the alpha is the leader.
And if you didn't know that, now you know.
Right? And if you guys have teenagers around,
Yeah, you hear about alpha all the time.
right? But guys, look it. 2 kids answered this question based purely on something that was completely not related.
Completely not related, not knowing any of the content, not knowing any about alpha and beta. And let me tell you, a lot of you guys get so confused and so caught up in how alpha and beta work, and you miss that. And it's so easy. It's so easy.
Yeah, and it's funny because my son goes, so what does alpha mean? I go, you mean in this world, like securities world? And he's like, yeah. I go, it literally means that if you have a positive alpha, you were better than expected. And he goes, see, alpha is the best. I'm like, I can't argue your
Hey,
logic, but yeah, you're right.
Don't know, now you know.
Exactly.
And look, guys, it's all about that. It's about getting those easy ones and just clicking it, going with the gut. You don't know what alpha and beta is. You don't remember, but you know that alpha is good and everything else, right? And it's better. Just click that dang one.
Just click
Where
it.
you see the easy answer there, guess what? Just click it. Guess what? Guys, sometimes you guys think way too dang much. So much so you get in your own way and you get in your own head. Don't do that anymore. Stop it. Just go with it. Sometimes it's not always about the content. It's the most easiest thing that you see on the screen. And just look at the way those patterns, just practice some of the stuff we showed you tonight. And if you wished we would have done more of this, guess what? That's why it pays to be a member, because we do. We have tons of videos on this. We talk about this all the time on Mondays. We do this in our Saturday review. Guys, this is the way we teach our content. So if you love it, be a member because you get it all the time.
That's right.
And you'll be walking proud like Michelle and Ning. Thank you so much for sharing. Guys, tomorrow we'll have the Academy. We'll be back for the Studying Brew Discord Wednesday. Or what are we doing tomorrow? Q&A? What are we doing? Content?
For what?
Wednesday.
Actually, I don't know yet because I've been answering all the questions.
We'll be doing Mystery Wednesday, everybody. Show up. You never know what you're going to get. We're going to have fun tomorrow. You're going to learn something. I promise you it will not be a waste of your time. And we appreciate all your time tonight. Stay with it. Be consistent. Until then, everybody, stay safe out there. Wash your hands. Don't touch your face. Don't touch your friend's face. That's all I know. Keep that positive mental attitude. PMA, everybody. Have a great night.
Guys, thank you so much for being on. We super appreciate you. Practice your test taking techniques in your flash quizzes. We will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great one.